In this video, I'm going to be showing you every Bloxburg ship I've ever built, starting from the small and insignificant to some of the largest ships ever built in Bloxburg. The first ship on our list is the HMAS M. Brady submarine. Being built in early 2023, it was the second vessel I ever built. It conducted 2 roleplays in its life and isn't really based off anything in real life. It was just a fun build from a few years back. The vessel cost around $70,000 and it was my first attempt at a submarine. Up next we have the USS Imperceptible, my more recent but still old submarine. Being built in early 2024, it's fairly detailed due to its gauges, buttons and torpedoes. However, it isn't very accurate to real submarines. The submarine is definitely better than the HMAS M. Brady, but it still shows its age in some areas. But it still holds up fairly well today. A ship that definitely doesn't hold up today is the SS Blue Ribbon Cup, the first ship I ever built. Being made in December 2022, it was built in a single day, but received updates and additions for around 3 months. When the ship first launched, she had no basement and 3 cabins. It's absolutely tiny, but it still packs a punch in terms of activities, sporting a soccer field, 2 restaurants, a buffet, and an ice rink, although it is a bit generic from the exterior. I'll tell you what's not generic, and that's the SZ-1 Empress of Bloxburg, the first Zeppelin I ever built in Bloxburg, even though it does look a bit like a sausage. It was definitely the most unique ship I had when it was built back in 2023, and it was one of the first Zeppelins ever built in Bloxburg, but its design definitely shows its age. I don't know why it has a pool. That's not accurate. I actually have a lot of unique ships from the mid-2023 era. The SV Victor of Britannia is another unique ship, being a 1600s era British sailing vessel, with passenger accommodation and cannons for some reason. I don't really know what I was thinking, but it's safe to say it isn't accurate. But it does have one cool feature, and that's that it doesn't require electricity. You can get every mood possible on this ship without the electricity. It is pretty slow to get your moods up though. Now, I often get asked what made me love ships so much, and this vessel here is one of the main reasons. It's a replica of the Australian paddle steamer PS Marion, which I worked on in mid-2023. It's fairly accurate to the real vessel, but again, it shows its age in some areas. In fact, I'm actually headed back to the PS Marion in November for an onboard event, so let me know if you guys want to see any footage of that. The vessel was originally built as a barge in 1897, but was then turned into a paddle steamer at around 1900. I've been trying to link each ship together for a smooth transition, but I don't know how to transition a paddle steamer to a cargo ship, so we're just gonna get straight into it. This is the MV Petroleum, probably the best named ship I own, as it's a modern diesel cargo vessel. It has a very unfinished interior that we won't even look at, but it's based off some older Mirsk cargo ships like Mirsk Chilka and Mirsk Cape. That's really hard to say. Hold on. It's based off some older Mirsk cargo vessels like Mirsk Chilka and Mirsk Cape Town. All the containers on board make this ship a lot more expensive than it should be. I'm sorry to anyone I offended with my horrible pronunciations of Mirsk. Speaking of unfinished interiors, this is the USS Nancy. It was built in early 2023, but its interior was only finished in early 2024. However, it was pretty rushed and the exterior definitely shows its age in some places. However, it does have a pretty cool feature, that being the big red button and a nuclear bomb inside it, despite this bomb having no method of propulsion, but we'll skip the fact that it can't actually fly. One ship in our fleet that definitely can fly is the SZ-2 Renaissance, being my more accurate Zeppelin build. Even if the exterior does look a little bit goofy from some angles, the interior is based off the Hindenburg. It even has the gas bags to lift the vessel into the air. It's definitely more accurate than the previous Zeppelin SZ-1, but soon this won't even be my most accurate Zeppelin, because the next ship I have planned is a massively accurate airship that I'm going to make another massive video about, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. We're getting to some of the largest and most well-known ships in Bloxburg. The first of which is the RMS Petrov. This was my first real accurate liner, being built in early 2024, and it probably has some of the best triple expansion steam engines ever built in Bloxburg. It also has the first steam turbine ever built in Bloxburg too, or at least to my knowledge. The RMS Petrov sports some really beautiful Edwardian interiors based off ships like the Titanic, Aquitania, Mauretania, all that good stuff. It's done quite a few cruise roleplays and has solidified itself as a pretty popular BSL vessel. The ship carried out the first real accurate BSL cruises voyage roleplays, and even took Bloxburg developer Froggy Hops across the Atlantic. Although it does have some interesting design choices, like the concave bridge and the pool being ugly. The vessel was inspired by the Carpathia and served as the BSL flagship until the ship was eventually preceded by my next vessel. The RMS Petunia II was first an experiment to combine the Edwardian and Art Deco styles before I decided to finish the ship and make it the new BSL flagship in mid-2024. The ship has since been toured by a well-known Bloxburg YouTuber, the Panda Girl, earlier this month, and the vessel was based off the MV Georgic from the exterior.
but most of the interior is very unique and not based off anything, giving it a really nice, unique feel. The ship took me way too long to design because I wanted to do the interiors mostly myself and not based them off other liners, but I think it turned out really well because the dining room, lounge, and lobby of the ship are some of the best interiors I've ever made.
And if you thought the Petunia II was big, you won't believe the next ship on our list.
The RMS Empress of Bloxburg was and still is the largest ocean liner ever built in Bloxburg. Being based in 2005, it's acting as a modern take on ocean liners similar to the Queen Mary II, only fatter. The ship gets memed on a bit by the Bloxburg maritime community, and she's been dubbed Big Bertha due to her size. The vessel has a lot to offer in terms of activities though, sporting a racetrack, soccer field, massive theatre, basketball court, 2 restaurants, Titanic Museum, ice skating rink, a small skate ramp, 2 gyms, 3 kitchens, and a capacity for over 80 players fitting into her 32 cabins. She also sports 2 interesting and pretty inaccurate triple expansion steam engines. It's pretty safe to say she's an absolute behemoth.
However, the Empress of Bloxburg isn't the best ship in our fleet. That honor would have to go to the TSS Pelagic.
It's a smaller and cheaper vessel compared to the Empress of Bloxburg and Petunia II, but it is by far the greatest liner I've ever built. Being based in 1934, she has some of the most beautiful Art Deco interiors of any custom Bloxburg ocean liner, and she has an exterior remnant of the SS Conte di Savoia, but she doesn't feel like a copy unlike the Petunia II, which was dubbed the Timu Georgic because of its resemblance to the real vessel. The Pelagic has a capacity for around 16 passengers, which is far less than every other recent BSL vessel, making the ship more exclusive and feeling more luxurious, even though that's mostly because of plot data. The ship even has a fully accessible exterior, despite being scaled to allow for more roleplay options. The vessel also sports the most accurate steam turbine ever built in Bloxburg, far surpassing the one aboard RMS Petrov from earlier this year. The vessel has been dubbed the greatest BSL liner yet, and in some cases, the greatest ocean liner in all of Bloxburg. However, the Pelagic has little in common with any real ships, as its inspirations far differ from its final design. The ship took over 200 hours to make, and I have a full video about how I actually built the liner, so if you want to watch that, it's over here. Or if you want to check out another ship I've talked about here, check out this playlist, which has all the videos I've ever made on my Bloxburg ships. My name's Commodore Turner, and thank you very much for watching.